Hi, my name is Sue Molyneux. I'm an artist and I specialize in ink and oil pastel. I'd like to show you how I painted this garden. This isn't really a how-to video, it's just an overview. I started off with a large frame, 36 by 48, because the client who commissioned the painting wanted something 4 feet wide. She didn't care how tall it was. What was interesting about this client is that she didn't want her own garden. We talked about what she wanted. A summer garden in cool colors, nothing bright. Blue, green, cool yellow. I suggested a path and a pergola. She was good with that. I sketched out some of the features. A path with stones leading toward a couple of Muskoka chairs in the background. Lots of tall green plants and lots of grasses. I then began to add some greens to give me a sense of perspective. I wondered if it would be too green, but hey, it's a garden, right? I was going to put the pergola to the right of the path, a sideways view. The stones on the path would lead you right to it. I ended up sketching the pergola above the Muskoka chairs instead, to give it a sense of destination, kind of zen, really. Path, doorway, lotus chair. That's not something my client knew about, not even now I haven't told her. It's just a way to add something of myself into the painting. So here I added a lot more color, but I've also added a few more items to make it seem more lived in. I put a watering can in, extended the path to the chairs in the pergola, and I added a cat. The client didn't ask for a cat. We were going to do a butterfly, but a butterfly in this painting would just disappear. I know that she had a couple of cats, and I thought it would be kind of cute. Adding more color now and defining the pergola a little bit better, I'm getting more perspective with shading. I'm adding huge numbers of shades of green, including blue greens and yellow greens. At this point, I decided to drop the watering can, just cover it over. I've added more color and more detail to the path. The client had specifically asked for a watering can, but it just looked like junk in the back of the painting, especially considering that for me it was a location, it was the lotus chair and everything. I didn't want a watering can covering that up. I really didn't think it needed to be there. When she picked up the painting, by the way, she didn't notice its absence. So I've started to add blues to the painting, filling in with flowers and building up the path. If I had to do it again, I don't think I would do a pebble path. It's painstaking work, and I'm not sure the client cared. Although, I like the look, and maybe I would do it again. It's really coming together now. The cat is still a little vague, but I've started to get some highlights and lighter colors in to give it a bit of life. Some nice white flowers in the foreground, more path work, and the sun-dappled leaves in the back, I think look great. This was the finished painting. I sent a photo along to the client, just to make sure it was all okay, and she loved it. Except, well, could I please paint one of her cats into the picture instead of this cat? And where's the pink? It turns out she wanted pink in the garden and just assumed that I knew that. Ugh. I mean, yes, of course. It's her painting. She sent me a photo of her cat and gave me a couple of more weeks. So here's her cat on the right side, looking at the painting. And here I've added some pink roses in the foreground. We had talked about English roses. So I've added some pink roses in the foreground, and it was a little weak there anyway, certainly on the left-hand side when you're looking at the painting. And this is the final, complete, dry, and ready-to-hang painting. It's bigger than me. I hung it on my own wall for a couple of days when I was waiting for the client to pick it up. In total, it took about 5 weeks. It was an awesome painting for me. I've never done anything this large, and it was a learning experience. But more than that, it was a great opportunity to really lose myself in Lizzie's garden. Thanks for watching.